Hi everyone, I'm here doing another Scars of Mirrodin Besieged 8-4 draft. We're here bright and early pre-downtime. Got an interesting pack here. Fortunately, the three best cards in the pack are all black. Now, I don't think I can pass this Black Sun Zenith. The guy to my left is potentially taking Go for the Throat or Flesh Eater Imp, I believe. And he's going to be pretty sure black's open, but I'm taking a Black Sun Zenith. I mean, the other option is to go with, a Master's Call and go with the white, which I've since the last draft I've posted, I've actually forced it a few times with some pretty good success. I think I made the final 3 out of 4 times. But I didn't do anything as ridiculous as take a Master's Call over a Black Sun Zenith to try to force it. So I'm going to go with that and see where that leads. Well, here the best cards are Into the Core, Divine Offering. I think that's it. I think those are the best cards. I'm going to avoid Infect. I've decided I avoid Infect unless one, I open a bomb in Infect, or I open a pack where I'm not passing a lot of Infect, because I feel like Infect is a bit overdrafted right now. People are extremely willing to just jump right into Infect and force it all the way. Like, if you pass if you pass anything that's considered a top common in Infect, it seems like people just pick it up and cut you off. So, like something like my first pack is probably going to put two guys to my left in Infect. I would not be surprised at all. Alright, I think I'm just grabbing this Ichor Wellspring. There's not much else I want. Otherwise, there's a Virulent Wound, which is, I suppose, on color. Quicksilver Geyser and Serum Raker, I guess, are the next best cards. But I think I'm just gonna stick to the Wellspring here. I like this card quite a bit, especially if I do end up red with the Into the Core. Alright. What do we have here? We have Ogre Resistor is the best card on color. Otherwise, we have one of my new favorite cards, Ardent Recruit. It's not a pick here, but it's basically when I've been forcing the white, this is like a wild Nakatl that always wheels. It's really good if you're drafting the metal cards, especially because you know you're wheeling it every time. But I think I'm going to grab the Mirror Works here. I don't know what you think of that. I've actually drafted this card once. Well, what's it going to take to get it to work? I mean, I'm in a control deck here, so I think I'm looking towards a control deck here. So I think this might be worth the experiment over an Ogre Resistor, which is pretty replaceable. Here, what do we have? Crush is a little bit underwhelming. I think I just grab this Sphere of the Suns. I may want to try to do some splashing. And it just keeps me open. I mean, Cryptoplasm is probably the best card here. It's great if you're blue, but it's not a bomb by any means. It's a super solid 3-drop if you're blue, though. Alright, another Ichor Wellspring. I'm pretty sure we'll find ways of taking advantage of it. I'd like to see a Slasher or something come late. That would go nice with the Wellspring, but otherwise there's just really nothing else I want. I could take the Player House. Blue seems open, but I'm content just sticking to these. I may not play red. I may not play black. It's more likely I play black than red though at this point. Although I might get cut from my left from an infect draft or leeching my removal. Yeah, but I'm just grabbing the Wellspring. All right, this time I take the Ogre Resistor. Just this pile of cards just does not seem to want a Copper Carapace. Yeah. Ooh, sweet. Got the Rusted Slasher back. Definitely the pick with 2 Ichor Wellspring. Ichor Wellspring kind of goes well with Mirror Works, I guess. Brass Squire I like a lot, but not in this deck, and I don't even think looks like I'm taking any equipment unless it's like a sort of Body of Mind or something. Quicksilver Geyser still in the pack. This card goes much later than it should because it's quite good. Yeah, not much else to say. Yeah, blue definitely seems open, but I'm fine just taking the Draw Ripper here. Yeah, another Rusted Slasher seems fine with the 2 Wellsprings. It's that or a Nathosaur, but I don't know if I really want the Nathosaur. I could see myself ending up not playing red, so yeah. Alright, here I take the Concussive Bolt. There's an outside chance that it makes the deck. I'm gonna go ahead and hate this Ardent Recruit because I don't think anyone else drafts them, but man, if there is someone, it's so good. It's just so good to get them like 12th and 13th pick if you're drafting that deck. I played a Shriekord once in 4-pack sealed. I actually satted it in once too in a draft where I had a control deck and I had some proliferate, and so like in a slow matchup I brought it in. Never got to draw it, but it seemed like it was decent. So I never saw another black card, unfortunately. Which could mean I'm getting cut from the right and left because I think at least someone on my left is just going to be forcing the infect. They got those Flenser Mites or whatever and stuck to the black plan, and I think I'm getting cut from the right too. It's possible infect is getting cut from my right also because I didn't see any premium infect after that first pack. So maybe black's not the color to be in, but it's going to be hard to get rid of this Black Sun Zenith. This pack, so blue was probably the way to be. This pack, I'm just going to grab the Necrotic Ooze because, well, I don't really need another 4-drop either. But, like, what else am I going to take here? I can take a Horizon Spellbomb. Trigon of Thought seems likely to wheel anyway, and I'm not too keen on taking a Volshock Replica first pick. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this Necrotic Ooze and we'll see what happens. Furnace Celebration might be. I haven't had much success with Furnace Celebration, even though I've had some decks where it seemed like it was going to be pretty good. I don't know if the draws, like it was only a couple times, or two, 3 times in the new format, and I mean it's a small sample, so it's hard to say. Otherwise, it looks like it's a Darksteel Sentinel or a Leaden Mirror. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Furnace Celebration. I have the 2 slashers, so that's about it. Huh. I'm not 100% sure here. I'm gonna grab it though. It might even wheel, but all right. Cerebral Eruption, it's not my favorite card, but it's that or Necropede here, I think. Fervor, I'll have time to pick up another Fervor later. I mean, I suppose I can take a New York Replica and sort of splash the ability off a Seer of the Suns and maybe an Island or something. That doesn't seem like the right pick over a Cerebral Eruption. I'm just going to take the Eruption. I haven't had the greatest of experiences with this card. And there's that late Mearsmith, which is one of the reasons I've been forcing the white. It comes so late compared to what they used to. You'd never see a fourth pick Mearsmith. Someone was drafting white. Like, out of the three drafters to your left. Like, once in a while they snuck through, but it's every draft I see them. So it's turn to Slag or Shatter here. There's also a Moriok Replica. Actually, Moriok Replica is not necessarily a bad idea with the Furnace Celebration stuff. And Shatter, I do have a bit of an expensive load here. I think I'm taking the turn to Slag. I have Into the Core. Yeah, I'm just taking into the Slag, and I've got to start taking some defensive dudes. Wall of Tancord would be good here. I might just take the Iron Mirror. A lot of 4-drops. It's a little bit too top heavy as it stands right now. And yeah, I don't know if I need another 4-drop. It's not necessarily going to be the case that I can support a Chrome Steed either. No. It seems pretty likely. What else do I take here? I could take a Liquid Metal Coating, which isn't going to do a whole lot. It gives you, like, you can start pitching lands to Rusted Slasher, I suppose. Or sacrifice things for lands for Furnace Celebration. I'm going to grab a Chrome Steed. Not so sure that was the right thing to do. Caduth Rebirth will be something I wouldn't mind picking up at some point, perhaps, but for now I just grab the Panic Spell Bomb. Culling Dace is usually something you kind of want, especially with the Furnace Celebration in the pile, but I don't have much fodder for it as of now. On the other hand, I don't really need a Flameborn Hellion. I'm going to grab it, but it's going to need some help if I'm going to run it. I desperately need 3-drops and lower, so that's the pick there. Alright, that's a good one to wheel, the Fervor. I'm not especially pleased with the way this deck is going. Way too many 4-drops. One of the 4-drops was the wrong pick. I don't know which one, but one of them must have been the wrong pick. I don't know I can run them all unless I find a bunch of Mana Mirrors or something. What do I least want to play against? I suppose the Soliton if someone has an Arbalest. So I don't know if I got a little too married to my Black Sun Zenith, but it's tough to let go of it. I saw some blue cards, but no individual blue card in the first pack was enough to get me out of Black Sun Zenith. And there was always something in the pack that kept me on black or red. Or just open with an artifact. Grab the Daredevil. I certainly have enough repeatable sacrifice effects. I just don't have quite enough to sacrifice to them. I need some more. I need some more like Perilous Mirrors and Necropedes. What did I take over the Necropede? I took Necrotic Ooze. That was a mistake. That should have been Necropede. And here I'm going to grab one quite happily. Yeah. And that Necrotic Ooze should be Necropede number 2. So at this point, how runnable is Mirror Works? I think it's runnable. We got enough artifacts, and enough artifacts worth getting 2 of. I mean, for it to be worth the cost, you got to be playing 2 artifacts worth sacrificing. Here's Barrage Ogre. That Tumble Magnet would be nice, and so would that Moriok replica. Maybe a Wield of replica. Not super likely though. But I think it's just a Barrage Ogre here. I mean, Panic Spell Bomb would be okay because of that Furnace Celebration, but I only have the 1 Furnace Celebration. I mean, I also have the Barrage Ogre now to go with the Panic Spell Bomb. And I guess it's good with Rusted Slash too, so it's still fine in the deck. I think here though it's going to be either a Mana Mirror or a Fume Spitter. I think it's just going to be a Fume Spitter. I mean, I'd play another Mana Mirror, but yeah, I mean, the Fume Spitter goes nice with the Furnace Celebration, something early that can stop some early aggressive creatures. Not all of them, but a good number of them. Alright. We got a Painsmith, which would be okay. But I mean, no better than okay, I don't think. I think I prefer to just grab a Mana Mirror here. I would play another Mana Mirror. I have some cuts to make as well, but just got the Mana Mirror for now. Alright. I'll take the Saberclaw Golem. I'm not sure if I'm going to run him. I'm pretty sure I've said it before. I'm not a huge fan of that guy. Yeah, the easy pick here is Moriok Replica. And Sylvok Lifestep might be sort of nice. Just with the ability to sacrifice things, it will, but Moriok Replica is the easy pick there. Alright, now Spellbomb. Still gotta decide what's being cut, but it's time for that. At this point, ooh, well that changes things. Got another Furnace Celebration. Alright, and I can definitely support it. That's definitely going to change how I end up building my deck. Like, I might, now there's some motivation to try to fit in all my spell bombs. And actually, Bleakhoven Vampires is a pretty good wheel, I think. It may not be main deck, but certainly a chance it's good sideboard material if I think I need to gain some life. I'll grab this Rebirth. Seems like another good wheel for me there. Oh, that really late second Furnace Celebration, I think is going to give this deck a big boost. Well, I mean, we'll see. If this deck can't compete, then I give up on Furnace Celebration forever. Because like this should really be a pretty good Furnace Celebration deck, and I think the Mirror Works actually got quite solid for the late game. And I have 2 sweepers. I think I like this deck all of a sudden. Even Corrupted Harvester could be a decent finisher with especially when you have 2 Furnace Celebrations. I don't know if I have enough like fodder creatures, but So yeah, I think I'm going to try to get in all these spell bombs and the fume spitter, as well as the rebirth. Definitely playing the two well springs, Sphere of the Suns, Necropede, Iron Mirror, Culling Dace, Copper Mirror. Culling Dace is okay. It's definitely good with the rebirth. It's fine with the Necropede, and it's fine in general with the Furnace Celebration. But like, there's gonna be I have plenty of ways of activating that Furnace Celebration. That's not the problem here. Into the core. How much does Necrotic Ooze do? Well, it actually does a reasonable amount. I've got the two replicas. It's creatures only, right? I have the two replicas. I have the Rusted Slashers. I could potentially play a Saberclaw Golem. I don't know that that's really going to have room. Or I'm going to have room for that. Alright, so I think the Rusted Slashers make the cut. Cerebral Eruption. Turn to Slag. Mirrorworks, Barrage Ogre definitely in. And Black Sun Zenith is definitely in. I'm at 23 cards already. Is there any maybes here? I suppose I don't necessarily need to play one of these guys. I'll definitely play the on-color one. I mean, Sphere of the Suns is on-color, but it's not a creature. Maybe it's better that it's not a creature than it doesn't die. So this is a potential cut. I may not need 3 because I'm not looking like I'm going to play all these 4-drops. I think I want to play the Necrotic Ooze. You know, it's a little bit rough on the mana base. It's not that rough. I'm only 2 colors. I'm not making any splashes. I have the Sphere of the Suns and an on-color Mirror. And it does do a decent amount in this deck. Also redundant if they can solve the Barrage Ogre. Now, other cards I might want are Bleakhoven Vampires and either Ogre Resistor or Chrome Steed. So the plus on Ogre Resistor that it is always 4 power no matter what. The plus on it's also Fairvore I may and Culling Dace. Okay, I have a few creatures I may want to get in. Yeah, the plus on Chrome Steed is that you can make 2 of them on a Mirrorworks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, I may not play this one. Yeah, I'd probably just avoid the Chrome Steed. Just because I want to be sacrificing artifacts, a lot of my artifacts. So while I do have enough artifacts potentially to support a Chrome Steed, I may not have enough if I keep sacrificing them, which is kind of what I want to do. So I don't know how good a Metalcraft card is in this deck, even if I somehow up the number of artifacts I play. So between these two, I would take the Ogre Resistor. Now, is another 4-drop what I need? No, I don't think so. I definitely prefer the Necrotic Ooze to the Resistor, even though it's double black. And the Rusted Slashers are certainly good in this deck. Alright, let's take a quick look. A bit tricky. Mirrorworks also a little bit tricky here. I mean, there's enough to combo with it, but all my artifacts come up pretty early, and so by the time I play Mirrorworks, will I have a free turn to just cast Mirrorworks, which doesn't affect the board right away, and then that would mean holding back some of these artifacts. I don't know. I'd still like to try it. I mean, if it's going to be good in any deck, it would be good here. It was pretty good in the last deck I had was this weird black. It was black red or it was black blue. I think it was black red infect with a bunch of artifact infectors, and like when I say bunch, I mean like I must have had 10 artifact infect creatures, and that went pretty well with the mirror works. Although that's not getting 10 artifact infect creatures is not something you can count on most drafts. All right. Yeah. So okay, let's take a look at how many sacrifice effects I have and see if I think I need another one. Well, okay. So these are just sort of sacrifice. These just sacrifice once. I mean, this is plenty for the 2 furnace celebrations. Repeatable though, I have 3, so maybe I do want one more repeatable. The only thing is I feel like maybe I want to play 17 lands here, even if I'm running 2 mirrors, because the furnace celebrations are certainly mana hungry. So it's like Daredevil or it's Faravor. I don't think Culling Days does enough. I don't have enough creatures for it. It could potentially come in against a removal heavy deck, but even then it will be not the greatest. Yeah, I think I want to get this Faravor in there. I wouldn't mind getting the Bleakhoven Vampires, but I can't imagine what I'm cutting for it. Okay, well, so 16. How bad is 16 lands here? I have the Iron Mirror and the Sphere of Suns, but I also have 2 Ichor Wellsprings and 3 Spell Bombs that cycle. Now, I mean, it's always better if I can get my Spell Bombs to keep them around until I finish Celebration. Worst case, they can cycle, but the Ichor Wellsprings are going to cycle always. So, I mean, with the Ichor Wellsprings, assuming I get to 2 lands, it's more like I have 38 cards in the deck, and so 16 lands with 2 mirrors in a 38 card deck. And I mean, if I have to crack a spell bomb, I can even consider it like a 37 card deck. I mean, it definitely is a bit of a speed bump, slow to develop, but I have sweepers that can help if I don't get a blazingly fast start, and I won't be getting any blazingly fast aggressive starts in this deck. That's not what this deck is trying to do. Yeah, so I think this is fine. If Infect did not exist, I would definitely find a way of fitting this Bleakhoven Vampires in, but I think I'll make room for it against any sort of aggressive deck that's not Infect. I'll bring it in. So it's okay against control, but it's not needed. Like, I'd keep it in the sideboard if I'm against a control deck, and definitely keep it in the sideboard if it's Infect. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with this. See what they suggest land-wise. I think I'm adding at least one more swamp. I have the Necrotic Ooze and the Black Sun Zenith. I have the Sphere of the Suns to help, but I also have that Sphere of the Sun also helps red. And I have an Iron Mirror to also help red. So I think I'm going to go to 9/7 because I want to be able to cast my double blacks. I definitely want to be able to cast my double reds too, and this makes it a little bit more likely that I, end up with 4 lands and 3 of them swamp, or something awkward like that, or even 3 lands, 2 swamp. But I still think this is reasonably good. It's kind of like 11 red sources and 8 black sources, and I think that's fine. Just because Black Sun Zenith especially is going to be super important that I'll be able to cast it when I need to. Alright, so I'm going to go with that, and I'll see you around 1.